Hi guys, in a couple of previous videos, I've given you hints and tips how to guarantee your diary remains empty for your protection presentations. Today, I'm going to give you a bunch of great ways to guarantee when you actually present your protection sales to your customers, you will get zero sales. They will leave with nothing. So if you like a quiet diary, you don't like protection admin, you don't like chasing up GPs, these hints and tips are exactly for you. First up, when you present your protection recommendations to your customer, don't use soft facts. Don't make it relatable to the customer. Simply run through the quotes using as much technical detail as possible. And if you can throw industry jargon in there, you get bonus points for that. Try and make it all about the cost and nothing to do with the benefits. This is an awesome way to guarantee the customers leave your care without any protection whatsoever. Give it a go. Here's the fix for this first one. During the fact find, listen for soft facts. Listen to what's important to the customer. What matters to them? What do they want to protect? When you present your advice, make it relatable. Relate it back to these needs. Children's names, hobbies, desires, hopes. When you relate your advice as to protecting things like this, the customers are far more likely to buy into the needs and focus less on cost. Number 2, when you're presenting your advice, run through every single quote in one go. DTA and kick, 2 IPs, reduced IPs, standalone kick, family income benefit, LTA. Bombard the customer with as much advice as possible, then give them a total cost, and then ask them what they think. This is a brilliant way to overwhelm the customer with information and guarantee you get no protection admin. Right, here's the fix for this second one. Don't overwhelm the customers. When you're making your recommendations, go through the need areas one at a time in the order of your priority of importance to the customer. Explain them, get the customer to buy into them, and agree the business before proceeding on to the next recommendation. This prevents decision paralysis. It stops the customer being overwhelmed, and it breaks the cost down into bite-sized chunks. It's far better. Number 3, when you're giving your advice to the customer, give them the quote and the advice for the product they need. But before they get a chance to even think about it, come charging in with a bunch of much cheaper options offering less cover. This almost guarantees that they will go for the cheapest product. So you might get a little bit of a sale, but I guarantee you it won't be worth the paperwork it's written on. Okay, here's a simple fix for number 3. Make your recommendations, give them best advice, and then zip it. Stop talking. Silence is your friend here. The customers will speak. If you've got an issue, they will talk about it. But if you go barreling in nervously with a cheaper alternative, they will go for the cheaper one. So control, stop talking. Hi, and welcome to my second video that will give you hints and tips to guarantee your protection presentations bomb completely. First up today, when you make your product recommendations, don't just recommend one product. Make sure you give the customer as many choices as possible. Bombard them with options. And if you want bonus points, share the search screen with the customer so they can see 20 different providers and all different quotes and all different options. This is an amazing way of sending them into decision paralysis. They will be overwhelmed. And I promise you, they won't do any business. Diary, nice and empty. Right, here's the fix for number 4. When you give mortgage advice to customers, you don't give them 20 different options. You listen to the needs, the income, what they're looking for, and you make a recommendation based on your expertise. You make one recommendation, not 20. It should be the same for protection. You know what they need, so you should recommend what you believe is best for them. Don't give them loads of options. Again, this causes decision paralysis, and that's when you hear things like customers saying, yeah, it sounds good. Could you email us the details and we'll have a think about it and get back to you? They're not coming back. Here's another easy one. Once you've made your recommendations, don't sign up the business there and then. Here's the trick. Let the customer go away and have a think about it. Maybe even email them your advice. This is an amazing way of losing that business. I strongly recommend it. Right, the fix for number 5. When you present your advice, your customers will never be as focused on their protection needs and the words you use for your advice as at that point there. If you leave them go out the door and have a think about it, you have got such a rapidly diminishing impact on their decisions because the world gets in the way, life gets in the way, and then suddenly you're getting ghosted or they're coming back and doing a DTA. If they agree to the business, sign them up there and then. And if they don't agree, stay there with them, find out what their objections are, what their concerns are, and address them there and then. It's so important to get the advice and the sign up done in one go. Here's another cool one. When you're presenting your advice, try and sound as nervous and uncertain about your recommendations as possible. And if you can sound almost apologetic as well, that's just an extra bonus. Once the customers can see that you're nervous and uncertain, they'll be nervous and uncertain, and there you go. No protection admin. Give it a go. And here's the fix for this. It's skills and product knowledge. So many advisors jump on multiple mortgage webinars. Well, go on some protection webinars. Phone up the BDMs and find out about the nuances of their products. Look at firms like the Exeter or Cirencester or British Friendly, Guardian. Once you speak to their BDMs, they will blow your mind with their passion and knowledge. The more you know, the more confident you'll be. You're not nervous when you give mortgage advice because you constantly talk about mortgages. So become an expert, improve your skill sets, talk to the product providers, and the confidence in your voice will come through when you speak to your customers. Once the customer picks up on that, they're far more likely to listen to your advice. And finally, if you want to keep your protection sales to a minimum, do not speak to the customer, do not see them, do not talk to them on the phone. Nope. Email your advice to your customers. Take your expertise and skills out of the equation. And don't forget to include a long-winded, convoluted description of your advice in that email. This is one of the best ways I've ever seen of keeping your protection sales at 0. And finally, quite simple, don't email your bloody advice to a customer. Globally, sales via email are only 10% as effective as sales where we can see the customer's face, either by video call or actually face-to-face. And it's probably worse with protection. It's one of the most confusing, overwhelming parts of our advice process. Well, you put in 6 KFIs, 6 KFDs, and 2 sheets of A4 of explanations of advice. There's no way the customers are going to buy into all of it. They won't read it, they'll go online, they'll be overwhelmed, and they'll ghost you. Use the phone if you have to, but it's better if you can go face-to-face or use video calling like this, and your sales will increase without your skills needing to increase. So there you go, there's a bit of a light-hearted view at the 7 most common mistakes I see advisors making and how you can fix them. Give them a go and let me know how you get on.